Sorry guys, thought Invasion episode 5 was still on. Now I'm just playing. But this episode was a snooze fest. What's up guys? Welcome back to another recap and review for Invasion episode 5 titled Going Home. Before we get into the recap and review, please make sure to like this video if you have been enjoying it, and please make sure to subscribe if you're new as we keep up with all the movies and TV shows. Now I got a serious question to ask you guys before we get into this. So obviously I'm not liking the show. If you watch my last 2 videos now, this is my 3rd episode covering Invasion. I haven't been enjoying it. So my question is, should I keep covering this show episodically, knowing I don't like it, and continue to be negative when I don't really want this channel to be too negative, but I'm honestly just coming on here and being super negative because I don't like the show? So should I stop covering it and just wait until the season ends, and then do a season 1 review, and then I could be, negative or hopefully positive, hopefully it gets better. I always hope that the episode keeps getting better, but it just hasn't yet. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because I saw someone say something, not on YouTube, somewhere else. And they said something that just caught my attention because it reminded me of myself. And it said, if you obviously don't like something, but you continue to watch it and berate it, then they see you as a dick, right? And so I thought of it and I was like, am I being a dick on here? I mean, maybe. These people obviously put in a lot of hard work, right? And I'm just a small channel on YouTube, so it doesn't really matter what I think, and no one's listening to what I think from anywhere in Apple TV, right? So who really cares? But it just made me think about it. I obviously love making these videos. I think it's such an enjoyment talking to you guys about it, especially episodically. So I don't want to stop making them. So I probably won't. But let me know down below what you guys think. And but let's get into the recap. Oh, and one last thing. Before we get into the recap, I want to pull up the screenshot I took, right? This was the description of episode 5 titled Going Home. This is what the description said, right? The President of the United States gives us an urgent global address in an attempt to prepare the world for what lies ahead. So I saw the description before I went into the episode, and I thought, wow, that actually sounds interesting. We get to hear what the President has to say about what's going on, right? The presidential address does not happen until the last 5 minutes of the episode. How the hell, I'm sorry to always knock this show, how the hell do you put, that's what the description of the episode is, and you only have that moment in the last 5 minutes? The whole episode, there's no presidential address. There's nothing like that till the last 5 minutes. How is that the description of the episode? You know what happened in this episode? Let's take a look at what happened in this episode. The episode opens up with the army guy, right? He's named Ward. He has Chavis, his boy, in the back seat. They're going back to the army camp that is now abandoned, as we saw in earlier episodes. When he goes there, he finds a picture of a little girl. He puts it in his pocket. He finds a knife, and he finds some sort of communication radio. He tries to make an extraction. He tries to communicate with someone. Obviously doesn't work, and he gets angry. He then finds a note or a file that says that the military base encountered unknown hostile contacts, and they have been extracted, or they have, migrated to another base, right? So I actually thought this was a pretty interesting opening. I really thought it was interesting, at least. I was like, okay, they came into contact with these aliens. We didn't see it, but they've come into contact with these aliens. He finds the note. Maybe we're gonna make our way to this base in this episode, I thought, and that's a good setup for maybe what could be a decent episode, right? We then cut to our Lord of the Flies kids, right? Lord of the Flies is exactly what's going on. Some sort of tug for power between the bully and the rest of the kids, whatever. They find this food truck, so they're all eating the food, eating the chocolates. I was like, all right, they're eating it for way too long. They're having whatever conversations, right? It's fine. We go into the front seat. The passenger seat seems to be clawed by something, probably an alien, I'm guessing, right? And inside is some sort of alien, looks like some sort of magnetic thing, right? The kid obviously has some sort of connection with these aliens, as we saw in the last episode. He has some sort of connection with this magnetic thing. That's what it looks like to me, magnetic. It's some sort of alien technology. And it he puts his hand over it and it creates some sort of, friction between them. The kids then listen to the car radio. We then hear another broadcast, another broadcast of the invasion as we don't see what's going on, which is, it's not fine. It's not what I want from the show, but it's obviously what we're getting. So, we hear the invasion going on over the broadcasting that something's going on. And the frequency goes louder, and this affects the kid. He starts, hurting his head, and he's like, he can't even talk. He starts freaking out with his hand. Obviously, this high frequency is affecting him some way. This alien technology in the sea is affecting him some way. I thought, okay, that's interesting. We're still, we're going somewhere. This kid obviously still has some sort of connection with this. As we already knew, we see more evidence of that. Fine, let's continue. We then cut to the Japanese girl. She's going back to her old workplace that she got fired from. She starts talking to her old boss. He's saying how, well, she notices that the JASA aren't there, which I guess is the Japanese, like, NASA. And instead, linguists are there. That's definitely not how you pronounce it. But they're people who are experts in foreign language. You know, they study the languages. She wonders why these linguists are here. It's definitely not how you say it instead of JASA. And that's just that scene, right? So now we go to our favorite mother in the show. I think Anisha is her name, right? So she goes to, like, this shopping mart or, like, this pharmacy to get food or something like that, right? Two army people come up, a man and a woman, army guys. They come and talk to her. They realize that she's a doctor. She tells them. And this was such a bad line. This is straight up bad writing right here. Because I'm going to remind you, if you've seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about. There's a scene, right, which tells them that there's a doctor, right? Or she tells them that she's a doctor. And the conversation literally goes like this. The army girl says, we could use another doctor, right? Then the army guy talks and says, yeah, there's provisions at the camp. We could really use you. Then the army girl says, yeah, and we could definitely use another doctor. And I was like, you just said that. Like, it was just, that's straight up bad writing. Like, what? Why do you have to reiterate that? It's just something that caught my eye. Don't mean to be so negative. Let's continue. So then Anisha goes with the army guys to go to the camp. We then cut back to the kids. They're arguing again. The main bully kid's talking about how the grown-ups fucked up the world. They're trying to figure out what's going on. He's like, it's terrorists. It's obviously terrorists. You know, they probably blew up our school. They blew up this. That's what they do. Grown-ups mess up the world, right? This is the part of the show where I realize there's nothing that ever goes on in this show to really discuss or talk about. You know, like there's, like we're just waiting for the aliens. I think that's what we're all watching for. We're just like waiting for that alien to come about. I honestly don't care about the kids eating chocolates, you know, in a truck. I don't care about the nurse getting, you know, food and then going to become a doctor. You know, the army guy going to the old camp. I don't know. Like, it's just, like, what is this show? You know? Whatever, let's keep going. So then the kids, you know, like half of them want to go home to find, you know, to get out of there. And the other half of the kids are like, no, we have chocolate and water here. And we have a roof with this truck. I want to stay under here. So, like, about half of them go with the bully and our main boy and the main girl, who there's, like, a love interest coming about. And they go off to go try and go home. While all the others, they stay in the truck. Thank God, at least we can get rid of half of them, and we'll focus on this other half now for the rest of the show. And that's pretty much it with them. So now at this part, I'm going to need some explanation for this, right? So we then go back to Anisha, who's back at the medical tent now, and she's becoming a doctor. They put the gown on her and everything. She symbolically takes off her marriage ring, right? Which I don't know, do doctors do that just for before they go into surgery, before they go into work? Do they have to take off their ring for like safety purposes or something like that? I don't know, but she takes off her ring, which I saw as symbolically maybe giving up on her husband. But then by the end of this episode, is she giving up on her family? You know, because as we saw at the end that I'm going to get to, she kind of goes with the doctors to go save more people, right? But obviously she's got a family like right down the road. Why would she leave them? Especially when she was berating the husband on trying to leave in the first place, right? So she takes off her ring. For the next like 2 to 3 minutes, she's just walking around like this. Like just, I don't know if she's traumatized. She's got her hands up, she's walking. And then some other doctor, the boy that she met, I don't know if his name is Hugo, whatever, in the car and was like, oh, I need help with this. So she goes over to try and help him. So they're working on him, and she finds this little piece of alien gabagoo looking thing that we saw from earlier in the passenger seat. And she takes it out, and it looks like a little black alien, like a little spider with little tentacles, like a mini squid. And she takes it out. And, you know, do you guys have any theories on this? Do you guys think they're like planting these little aliens in people to kill them? I mean, he said like, oh, like you just saved his life, inferring that if that thing was kept in there, he would have just died. So is that what they're doing? They're just planting little aliens to go and kill them? Or is it some sort of mind control? But we haven't seen any hints of mind control yet with these aliens. So I don't think it's that. But, I mean, these aliens were obviously in him for some sort of purpose. So let me know any theories you guys got, because I got nothing. So then we go back to the Japanese girl. She's with her boss. They're listening to some sort of alien frequency that the linguists are studying. And they find out that this language is a silent language, and they've never seen this language from anywhere on the planet. So then she's like, alien? With a little question mark, you know? And it's like this is supposed to be this big reveal, but it's like, we already knew this was aliens, you know? It's like this last couple minutes, it's like our characters finally understanding that it's like an alien invasion. And like we're finally getting up to aliens at the 5th episode. But thank God they at least finally realized that it's an alien invasion. Maybe stuff can start getting picked up now. And also a little Easter egg, I think. The boss says some sort of line about like Event Horizon telescopes. and Sam Neill, who's supposed to be one of the stars of this show, was in a movie called Event Horizon. And speaking of Sam Neill, the dude's on the damn poster. Where is he? So that's just more clickbait stuff that I talked about in last episode. But I thought it was a cool little Easter egg, how they said Event Horizon, and Sam Neill was in a movie called Event Horizon, which is a movie I like, actually. So finally, we get the presidential address at the end. We have a woman president of America, and so she addresses the nation. She says that this is some sort of alien invasion. She says all these global events that have been occurring are all connected somehow. And that's how the episode ends, by telling us stuff that we already knew. We all knew that all the events were connected. We all knew it was aliens. That's like the big thing. And that's when I realized that this presidential address happened in 5 minutes, and that's what the description of the episode was. You can't do that. That's not what the episode was about. So I'll give you guys my rating for the episode. I'm giving it a 2.4 out of 5. I give it a 2.4 because although I do think it was a bad episode, it's not dog shit at least. It's not like piss poor. At least there's some sort of interesting elements in the beginning. And I am some sort of, obviously I'm watching it. It's not like boring stuff. There is some sort of intriguement with the aliens and stuff. I just want it to happen already. We're 5 episodes in. You're telling us stuff we already know with these aliens invading with the presidential address. There's no Sam Neill. This just wasn't a show that I thought it was. And even the show that it is, I'm not enjoying. Some people are enjoying it, with the different perspectives. The aliens attacking and we're not seeing them. I get that. If that's your thing, then that's your thing. And you can enjoy that. And this is just not for me. But let me know down below what you guys thought of the episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I know a lot of people who have been watching these are probably more on the not like it side, but we're all still holding on. And I'm a completionist. I am going to finish this one out. But let me know what you guys think, what I said earlier. Do you think I should keep doing these recap and reviews and continuing to be probably negative? I go into these episodes hopeful, like I said. I went into this episode hopeful. I'm not going in here wanting to think negative about the show. I'm not going in here saying oh my god, I can't wait to talk bad about this show or about this episode. The episode is what it is, and I'll tell you guys straight up what I think about it after. And if there ever is a good episode in the show, I will talk about how good it is. But I thought this episode was bad. I thought it was bad. It's boring. What are we doing? What is this? So let me know what you guys thought. Please make sure to like this video if you end up enjoying it. Please make sure to subscribe as we keep all the movies, TV shows. Have a great rest of the day, everyone, and I will see you on the next video.